Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Logically Not. I hadn't made a video in several weeks, mainly because I have been sucked into this game, Path of Exile 2. Last videos I was making was on Fallout 76, and I kind of I played it a lot there, the past couple of months, and decided I wanted to. Well, I wasn't really looking to play a new game really. I had planned on going back and playing some Call of Duty Zombies, but I had seen where there was a controversy with Elon Musk. Now, I don't want to get into that too much, but where he was saying that he's a top gamer, and then he did a live stream, and people were picking it apart, saying it wasn't really his character and this and that. So, I was like, well, what's the big deal about this game, right? I played Diablo. I played Diablo for a very long time. I'll tell you a story. Now look, guys, if you're new to my channel, um, I like to talk. I talk about different things. I play a lot of different games. Um, my videos are not short most of the time, but I am going to have some stuff in here, as far as like what I wanted to talk about, um, as far as the game and what I think about it, and the positives, the negatives, and then maybe share my build, a newbie build, which I'm pretty good at making builds. So I don't know. There can be some uh, some improvements made for sure, and going to have to be if I'm gonna get to 100. But just share my build and you know talk about the positives and negatives that I've seen over the last few weeks playing this game. I've played it a lot, and but back to the story. Okay. Uh, I've been playing Diablo since basically the beginning. I have a cousin who's a bigger nerd than I am. And it was during the summer of, I guess, 98, 97, 98. Yeah, went over and he had two really good PC setups. Um, for then, they were really, really, really good. And he had Diablo, and I never played it before. I was a console player. I've always been a console player. I'm still a console player. But he had a couple of these high end for the time. They'd be like relics today, but um, he had a couple of high end PCs, and he had Diablo. And I didn't leave his house for 2 weeks. Uh, so, I fell in love with Diablo then. Now, I did play Diablo 4 now, and I had fun with it. I played it for about a month. I had fun with it. I uninstalled it and I hadn't played it. I hadn't put it back in. Uh, I had a level 63 hardcore character. This is when the game first released, a couple weeks after release. I had a 63 hardcore character that got ganked by Frost, the bullshit with the Frost, and got killed, and I uninstalled the game. And I have not. I raged so bad. And that's the bad thing about playing hardcore on these games like this, right? You get so mad at it that you just kind of, a lot of people just get mad at it, including me, and don't give the game a chance after that or whatever. But I may go back to Diablo. I don't know. It's certainly not like the old. It's a lot different than it originally was, right? But I'm familiar with these games, and I'm good. I'm pretty good at making builds. You know, once I learned the mechanic, took me a little while to learn what each thing did, and I don't look stuff up. Okay, uh, I kind of just trial and error. Uh, just seeing how the mechanics work. Uh, the game overall is very good. I think I've had a lot of fun with it. It's very nerdy. It's very deep, very complex. Um, it's the difficulty spike, the learning curve. These are all things that I love. So hey, uh, I see the appeal to it. Um, and I know I see some people griping about the loot drops. um, you know, I like things being rare in games. I like rare stuff that's hard to get. Um, I think that's what makes it fun. Is trying to acquire that stuff. So, you know, as long as you're running the increased rarity chances on your maps and in the end game, uh, I haven't really had a problem getting like currency, things like that. Now I do waste a lot of currency. I have not gotten the crafting down. I mean, I understand the concept of the crafting, but either my luck's just bad or I'm just slamming too much stuff, which is probably the latter. Because I'll say, all right, I'm not going to use any mats. I'm going to uh, save them up, and then I'll pick up a base or something, and I'm like, oh, I gotta try on this one, or pick up something with like one good modifier, and I just go stupid with it. So that's always been my problem with these games, or really any game in general. Not I don't hoard. I'm a loot goblin, but I don't hoard things. I use them, but um, I think the game, like I said, is really good. Now there are a lot of, and I know this is early access or whatever, but I see them keep putting out patches, and it just don't. There's things. It's for console anyway. I don't know about PC. Like I said, I'm a console player, um, but it just seems that there are some fundamental issues with this game that they're not addressing. And we'll go over that. I'm just going to show some gameplay and show you the things that I'm seeing. Uh, we'll do that. But other than that, um, I I really like the game. I've had a lot of fun with it. Um, the difficulties there. Now with this character, and I hadn't got into the tree. Got the difficulty up because I know you can increase the difficulty through the Atlas tree. I have done some of it, with the bosses and all. But I'm pretty much walking through any like content that's not increased through the map with this build, like the trials. Um, I can do those at will. Uh, the breach boss. I beat him on my first try. Uh, there's several bosses that I hadn't gotten to yet, or that I, at least I'm pretty sure it's bosses. Like I said, I don't look a lot of things up. I may glance at something every now and then, but for the most part, I go in I go in these games like this blind, and it takes me a little while to find everything, or to find the content. I have done the breach boss. I've done both of the trials fully. Um, so, um, but yeah, dude, I think the game's great. I really do. But yeah, what we'll do, we'll go into the. Well, I'm gonna show you some gameplay of some things that I really think they need to fix, and then I'll probably go over my build. And hey, in the comments, obviously my build can be improved. Okay, but if you see something, hey, maybe try this. Hey, put it in the comments. I'll try it, man. I'll try it. But anyway, stay tuned. We're gonna do something. We're gonna do a T15 map. We'll show y'all some things that are happening in game, and we'll go from there. All right, so here we are. We're gonna do a T15 map on Steep. Uh, I think it's probably had, I don't know, 4 or 5 modifiers on it. I don't remember which ones they were. Usually if I get my prefixes, I stop adding to them. But yeah, just show you some some of the main issues. And right off the bat, you can see right here some of the floor isn't rendering, and this happens a lot, man. And it makes it not only is it hard on the eyes, it makes it where you can't really tell what's going on the ground. And with so many shit that's on the ground that'll kill you, this can be a huge distraction. And you know, make it confusing. You see how that looks? It's all, you know, messed up. I mean, you really can't tell what's going on there. So yeah, this happens a lot, and really you have to just turn the game off and restart the whole thing to get it to get it removed, and then you know you'll play about 2 or 3 maps and it'll do it again. So yeah, that's the first thing. Um, Another problem is like trying to pick up the loot. I mean, it's so finicky. I mean, unless you're picking up all of it, like you're trying to pick up certain things, um, it just makes it almost. And I have not seen an option. I think on PC there's an option where you can filter the loot that you're able to pick up, where you can just pick up everything. But I don't think, at least I haven't been able to find it where you can filter the loot on PS5. Uh, but yeah, I mean, picking up loot, like when you got other loot around it and you only want to get a certain piece, I mean, that's really, really aggravating. Uh, but man, the gameplay's great. I mean, you know, it's really good, dude. Like I said, there's a few fundamental things that I really wish they'd fix, and it make it so much better. Uh, yeah, we're just like I said, my build has a lot of evasion. Doesn't have a lot of has very little energy shield, hardly any to speak of, um, and then has no armor and probably a medium, you know, like a medium sized health pool. Getting a little over 2,000 HP, which isn't a lot. Um, but I'm able to live in this stuff here. Probably gonna have to do a little better um, to get to 100, but for right now, that's pretty good. Yeah, that mark skill does really good on like elites as far as staggering them, especially in combination with the bleed. The spears, the explosive spears, just absolutely devastating. Yeah, and like right here, I'm just trying to pick loot up, man, and I mean, I'm getting frustrated with it. I want to get that emerald. Oh, I finally got it. And it's just quality of life, man. Is just they really need to do something with that. I don't know what they need to do, but they need to do something. And then you're going to see my biggest issue here in a minute. Uh, you're going to see it. Yeah, we got a lot of movement, and you know, it's just all about when you're playing with a character like this. It's just all about positioning. Uh, staying off of that shit on the ground. I mean, that is just so deadly, man. All that shit. Anything on the ground is going to kill you. Trying to pick up loot. Trying to pick up loot. I'm just like struggling. I'm struggling to pick this shit up. And that spear field, dude, it just stops them dead in their tracks. That's why I say I like builds with multiple skills, because I mean you may need a skill for something else that, you know, I mean skills have certain functions. You know, that spear field is really good for, you know, stopping aggressive enemies and being able to retreat if you get in trouble. Very handy. If I was just stacking on one skill, I wouldn't have that available to me. I even use it against bosses. It's really good against bosses. The spear field is. I mean, it's just you lay it down and it just does damage if they, you know, when they move. Yeah, this guy here is dangerous, man. I'm trying to stay away from him. Hit you with that. Just about one shot you. And he's got those purple things. They're deadly. They just follow you around forever. A lot of shit will kill you way after it's dead. That's why I say, man, I've died so many bullshit ways on this game. There's no way I play a hardcore character. In the state this game is in right now, there's no way I play a hardcore character. There's just no way. I've just died in so many bullshit ways. Shit off screen. Shit like way after they're dead, killing me. There's just no way I play a hardcore character on this game in its current state. Even though I like doing that, it's just like I've just died so many bullshit ways. I mean, look at the ground, dude. Like, nauseating. You can't tell what's going on, you know? My mana's really an issue with this build. I need to fix that. I've got it a little better. I just need to get my leech up a little more. See, here's my other problem. You see how that loot disappeared just then? And I didn't even notice it right there, I don't think. There's no telling how much loot I've just totally didn't pick up and didn't just miss totally because of the loot disappearing. That is my biggest issue with this game, is the damn loot disappearing off the ground. I mean that's the main thing with this game, dude. Picking up loot off the ground, and like every other, like multiple times a map, loot will disappear on the ground. And I don't know if that's true for PC as well, but on PS5, dude, as far as as far as I'm concerned, dude, it is terrible. And there's just no telling how much shit I've not picked up because it disappeared and I didn't realize that loot was disappearing. And basically, to fix it, you have to close the game and reopen it. Yeah, it's gone. All that loot's gone, dude. Like, and I noticed it right here. I'm like, what? I'm like, man. So maybe I hadn't noticed it yet because I kept playing. Another thing is these breaches, man. Sometimes they don't spawn any monsters, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, I'll kill everything and be standing there and be nothing there to kill, and it'll just close on me. Happens a lot. A bunch of regular enemies in here. It's kind of hard to... I should have cleared the area before. Usually I clear an area before I hit that, so I'm only killing breach monsters. But, you know, I didn't do it there. Probably because I'm aggravated with trying to pick up loot. Yeah, all that shit disappeared. Everything but the waystone. All that shit disappeared. So I'm going to pause here and then restart the game, and then I come back and, you know, the ground's cleared up. Now I don't know why it started right here, but whenever I saved it, I think I had to restart it twice is what happened. I think I restarted it, and then the loot started not dropping again, and then I restarted the game again and didn't save it, so then it was to this point. So that's what happened. But yeah, I mean, when you restart the game, the map, where you've been, the map starts over. You don't know where you've been, where you hadn't been. You know, all that stuff starts over. So, I mean, it just takes forever when that happens to even finish a map, man. Like, yeah, I mean, it's just total bullshit. And they just need to fix it. Like, that's the main thing about the game is picking up loot off the ground. I mean, that should be the very first thing that should work. And you know, I'm not really bitching about it. I'm bitching at the, you know, because I know they're doing their best. But I mean, it's like, I mean, they didn't make that a priority, dude. Like,
I'll not make the journey home like that.
yeah, I'm just struggling trying to pick this stuff up, dude. Like, or trying to hit the ritual site. Don't really know where I've been. You know, because I had to restart the game because the loot was disappearing off the ground. I'm trying to figure out where exactly this last ritual site is. And like, this could have been done a long time ago. Like, this added like 5 minutes to the map. And it happens all the time. Like, all the time.
I need more time.
Find the ritual site. Primal monster, man. It's annoying. And the loot disappeared again. I mean, that's just crazy to me, man. So I'm just fed up with it at this point. I just leave the map. Yeah, the loot disappeared, and that's my biggest gripe. The other than that, man, the game's great, but yeah, they need to fix the loot, dude. All right, so
disappearing
now
on the
let's take a
ground.
look at the build, real quick. Now I don't know how quick it's going to be. There's a lot to it, but as I said in the gameplay video, um, I could uh, just stack on one skill, but I don't like to play like that. I think it takes a little more forethought and all to be able to play with multiple skills and chain them together. Uh, than to just do one button. I know a lot of people like to play like that, one button. That's boring to me. And there's two kinds of people that play this game. People that want to just hold down one button or tap one button, and then people that want to use multiple skills and chain them together to get your damage. And that's kind of what I'm doing with this build. Uh, and this is actually my this is my second character. I had a monk before I started playing this game a few days before the update dropped with the Huntress. And I got through, I think I was like halfway through the cruel run with the monk, and then this dropped. I said, you know what, I'm going to play with a new character. So this is actually my second build. But I didn't even make it to end game with the monk. So, I just didn't play it long enough to get there. Uh, but I went with the Huntress because, like I said, it was a new character. And just want, I kind of liked I looked the ritualist. I kind of liked, the description. I kind of like that dark, you know, whatever. I always kind of like that in these games. Um, So yeah, I went with the Huntress. I went with Ritualist for the and I went with the Ritualist. Uh, so let's take a look at what we got here now. All this stuff, I don't really know if I've bought anything off the. Now I have sold a bunch of stuff on the trade market, but maybe I think I upgraded my boots. These unique boots. Uh, I ended up the first set I got. Now I ended up corrupting them early, and I did not. It's like when I got these boots really early, and I kind of built the build around these boots. Okay, uh, so I did get a different set of boots. I have not got another set to drop, so I went and bought some, and ended up, getting a second socket now. The first socket, I put the cat talisman in. And then the second socket, I want to try to get the soul core with the same modifier, 10%. But for some reason, uh, they want a full divine for that soul core. When I got the cat, which is actually more, it's only 10%, it's 15%. The other one's 10. I got it for one exalt. I mean, I don't understand that. But yeah, we did buy some stuff on the boots. I did make my weapon. I actually got this weapon. I had another weapon that was pretty good. That I had, when I first finished my cruel run. I bought it from the guy when you get back to the first town. Uh, that does that does the random loot or whatever. You buy a random weapon from whatever. I got a really good spear from him. And then I ended up finding this one on the ground, and I got some good rolls on it. So I've been using this since around 70, 71, 72. I definitely probably need to upgrade this. Uh, but I just haven't been lucky enough to get some good rolls to make something better than this. But it's pretty good. Um, I corrupted it and got the 8% increased attack speed. Uh, it's got the crit chance. It's got crit damage bonus, which are kind of medium, but it does good. I'm definitely going to have to get something stronger when I increase the difficulty through the Atlas. Uh, Now, some of this stuff that, anything that's going on in the future, I may be wrong about, okay, because I hadn't played it yet. This is just, I'm thinking, I'm definitely probably going to have a better weapon to get into the extreme levels of difficulty that this game provides. Uh, yeah, it's a pretty good weapon. And like I said, I made it myself, so that's always good. Uh, I really like the third ring on the ritualist. My rings could be a little bit better, I guess. Uh, I try to go for, um, really with my rings, I'm just trying to get resistances. Uh, you know, Probably need a little more focus, a little more on damage and mana. Uh, but we got some resistance. We got some resistance here. Um, and then on my amulet, you just kind of, it's got spirit on it. So I mean, you get kind of whenever you're using the spirit uh, for your uh, buffs, your passives, whatever. You kind of get locked into having to have that modifier on that particular uh, item, right? So I got spirit here. I'm just kind of locked on that. So if I don't get another amulet with at least this much spirit, I can't use it. So I find that a lot. You get stuck, uh, even with like attribute points, right? If you don't pick up another item, with at least the same attribute points that you have on the one that you currently have, you can't change it out. So a lot of times that's why these are kind of lower level, and I've kept them a long time because I just can't find anything that's got the right uh, modifiers on it to keep my skills up, right, where I can use my skills. Um, the shield's pretty good. Uh, I think we're kind of wasting some here on reduced attribute requirements. That's a waste, but as far as like the evasion rating and the max life, it's pretty good. The cold resistance is good. And then the main part, like I said, the main part, uh, when I first started playing with Huntress, I was trying to figure out uh, how I was going to get the frenzy charges right, because you could only really get it when you first start playing with it pairing. Now, when I play souls and stuff, I do parry. I play a dex character. I parry. The parry just isn't that great on this game. One of the main reasons that it's not that good is because uh, the hitbox is too small, or maybe the evasion has something to do with it, or the way it triggers evasion. But a lot of times, and when you're talking about a split second, um, it's not good to miss. But I mean, a lot of times, when I see an enemy coming at me, and I go to parry them, well, I didn't mean to do that, but we'll both miss. Like it won't. I'll time it. He won't hit me, and I won't hit him. It'd be nothing. And then, you didn't wasted that second or whatever you went to do that, and now you're getting surrounded, and you're not in a move. You see what I'm saying? Like I think they needed to maybe expand the hitbox with the parry. I think this is kind of like a new mechanic for them, so maybe they hadn't worked out the kinks. But I think something whenever you do a parry, something should happen. Either you get hit by the enemy or you do the parry. Okay, the timing I think is fine, but I think maybe just like it may have something to do with the evasion, the way the evasion works on here too, right? Where the enemy's missing you or whatever. Uh, I'm not sure, but I feel like if you parry, something should happen. You shouldn't just whiff, okay? If the enemy's on top of you, um, both of you shouldn't whiff. You should either be getting hit or you should do the parry. So I've kind of gotten away from even parrying at all. Now, yeah, I can time it. It's just that I miss a lot of them, and where nothing happens, and you know, I would like to parry. I enjoy parrying, but that was really the only way you could get a frenzy charge until I picked these boots up, right? So physical damage is pinning. Okay. Uh, so if you go over here, we have this skill, Combat Frenzy. While active, grants you a frenzy charge and you freeze, electrocute, or pin an enemy. So if all my physical damage, and I'm mainly physical, um, if my physical damage is pinning, then I'm getting pins, I'm getting frenzy charges, I'm able to use uh, my explosive spear. I use it a lot. Uh, it's very powerful. Get you out of a jam, and then also you can chain your whirling slash and your twisters off of the fire that it puts on the ground. That's what I'm saying about chaining attacks. You see me do it in the gameplay video. You know, I'll throw the explosive spear, uh, and then I'll do the whirling slash on top of it, and then I'll release the fire twisters. Um, Works really well. Don't work out like that all the time. Uh, and then also the spears. They do really good. They slow down the enemies. They do a lot of damage. You put them down in front of you if you're being blitzed. You can also retreat with these. You can lay them down behind you and then fall back into it, and it's gonna keep the enemies off of you. Give you a second to get your move started. Uh, I also use the rake. The rake does a lot of bleed damage. I'll throw down the spears and hit them with the rake. Um, Both of these do bleed. Mainly my build is bleed and the explosive. Also, you know, I kind of like this blood bowl. It does good. The sacrifice is good. Um, I have not used the second version of it where you take, I believe it's HP. You take HP because you only get one modifier that way. When you do it this way, you can get multiple modifiers when you do it off the ground. So I have not invested in those 2 points. I actually put it on the rings and then the blood bowl and then the first set of the ritual sacrifice. That's where I got my ascendancy points. Um, but yeah, I mean, these are really good. Now, what I will say about the ritual sacrifice, when you're using a monster modifier, if you pick up a modifier and then the next rare you see has the same modifier, it gets confusing about who's, uh, you know, like say you got the lightning or whatever, gets confusing about whose is whose, right? Is it the one that's going to kill you, or is it going to be is it yours, right? So it gets confusing sometimes if you run into another monster. If you kill a monster and then the next monster got the same modifier, that ends up being confusing. That's the only downside I see to this. Besides it slowing you down a little bit to do the animation. Um, but I do like it. But once again, it does get confusing if you and the monster that you're fighting have the same modifier. Well, it's like, especially if it comes to like lightning, dude. It'll melt you, or melt me anyway. So that's one thing. Uh, you know, the whirling slash. You know, I could probably do a build where I could just do this. Okay, I could probably stack on top of this one particular skill and clear about anything, but I don't like playing that way. I do use the disengage. I use it behind. Initially I was using it with the parry, but after I got frustrated with the parry not triggering most of the time or half the time, I use it after I do the rake because you are vulnerable going into the rake and when you finish the rake. So when you hit the disengage, you get some iframes where you can't be hit. So it's good to after you do the rake to hit the disengage and back out of back away from the enemies and just put the bleed on them. Um, there's a lot to this, man. So I'm just trying to explain this the best way I can. uh, about how I'm playing. Uh, Bloodhound's Mark, I think this was underrated for me at first. I tried it, I took it off, I didn't use it, but this is very, very good for bosses and rares. Um, and there's some other things I want to do with it. There's actually a passive on the skill tree where you if you do a mark on an enemy, you blind the surrounding enemies. So I'm thinking about maybe trying to get that some way. I'm not sure, but this is very good. There's a lot of stagger damage, uh, and when you're adding bleed to it, if you've got your bleed up like I do, it's very powerful on like rares and bosses. It does good. Wind Serpent's Fury. Uh, I do it some. It's strong. It's a strong skill. The problem is you can be hit while you're doing it. Uh, and I'm just so squishy. Uh, I don't have any armor. I have very little energy shield. I've got a mid health pool. My evasion's crazy high, but and that's how I play all these games. I play high damage, high dexterity builds when I play games like this, or Souls, or Elden Ring, or anything like that. It's just how I've always played them. High damage, low, low, very low as far as being like tanky. I don't have it. I'm very, very squishy. Um, but I can move, and I got my speed up. But yeah, you can be hit with this when you're using this skill. So you take a couple hits and you don't move, you die. So I don't use it a lot, but it is a very strong skill. Um, but yeah, I mean we can look. Basically, my explosive spear is really nasty. It's doing 53,000 DPS. Or running fire infusion, ignition, deliberation, primal armament, and fire penetration. Um, I got that perfect jeweler's orb, and I used it, and I looked, and I was like, dude, you get two divines for these things. So I ended up using. I'm probably not going to use another one for a while. I'm probably going to try to get my divines up. Probably sell the next few I get, but yeah, I did max these out because these are very important to my build. The whirling slash and the explosive spear are very important. Whirling slash, martial tempo, arms length, close combat, defy, and punch through. Um, these are necessary. But yeah, I mean we see here. I mean they're we're doing herbalism, perfusion, strong hearted. On the Blood Bowl, we're doing brutality, distrike, warm blooded, physical mastery, archimony, and then we're doing this. The parry, like I said, I don't use it much. The spear throw I do use. What's cool about the spear throw is that if you have a frenzy charge, it does do like a mini explosion at the end of it. And I did have the mines on it, the caltrops or whatever they're called, but I took those off and put retreat on. Um, it's kind of like my backup weapon. Like uh, if my skills don't take something down, I end up hitting with a spear throw. But yeah, I use this a lot. I don't use a spear stab. Uh, and let's see, yeah, and the spear field, magnified effect, encumbrance, rearm, and impale. Probably need to get that to 5. Uh, the Bloodhound's Mark, Rupture, Blood Knives, Life Thief, and Singled Out. Um, but yeah, those are those. Uh, but yeah, the boots really help to build. Gain frenzy charges, which you need to do the because the explosive spear really does nothing if you don't have a frenzy charge. I mean, it doesn't do anything. It's just delayed. The explosion is very small. You know, it's pretty much worthless if you're not using it with a frenzy charge. So you really need something, and I haven't found anything else that would give me pinning. Physical damage is pinning. But these boots. Now, I'm not saying there's not something else out there. But hey, if y'all know something out there, uh, drop it in the comments. You know, I've not seen anything on the skill tree. Um, you know, where I get physical damage as pinning, because I would like to get a regular pair of boots, because you know you kind of take away when you're using uniques, especially you know uniques like this. I know there's probably going to be some better uniques as you get deeper into the content, but you know, for right now, you know, I'm kind of these are kind of taken away from something I could have if I had a you know regular pair of boots on, right? But I need that physical damage. Depending on my build is bricked, effectively bricked. Um, but yeah, my this could be a little better. You know, we're looking at, I mean, we got some T3s on it. Uh, you know, this could definitely be better. But I do like the implicit on this armor, which is 5% increased movement speed. It's very hard to get movement speed from what I can tell. Uh, so the 5% increased movement speed is huge. That's why I picked that Falconer's jacket up during the gameplay video. I'm trying to get those bases because I want something a little better, but need that implicit. We're using the Boar's talisman on the bracers to get the rage. Um, but yeah, I mean, we look at my resistances. Um, Now I did change something. I can't remember what it was. It did take my frost down quite a bit. That's why I put the charm on, the frost charm, because I'm not full there, but I do have full electric and fire and almost full chaos. This is my evasion 71. Now we'll show you when we get to the tree. It's 71 here, but I have some things uh, on the tree where I'm getting much more than that as I play, uh, which is helping me avoid a lot of damage, especially when I need to avoid it. Yeah, I mean, my movement speed is plus 43.6. Anything I can get speed wise, I'm trying to put that on. Uh, but yeah, my mana recovery could be better. You noticed I did run out of mana a little bit when I was playing. But yeah, hey, y'all see anything on here that you know that y'all veterans, anybody that's watching this, y'all see something on here that you know you think could be a immediate improvement? Drop me a line in the comments. I'm really rambling, but I mean this game is so deep, man. It's like, well, you know, I don't even know where to begin. It's so complex and so deep. I don't even know, you know, where I'm going with this. I'm just trying to show y'all kind of the gist of what I'm doing because I do think this build's pretty good. Um, I'm gonna try some other things, but I do think this build is really good. We'll get to the skill tree. Um, Now I try to keep everything in this quadrant, right? I'm not trying to go way out here, right? I see a lot of people like I'll see their I'll watch a video or something. The guy skill tree, he'll be over here somewhere. Um, I just don't. I mean, as far as like my your bang for your buck, I feel like you should be staying in. You should be concentrating in this area and try. You know, I guess if you're going for a specialized build, it would make sense. But I mean, just general purpose, I do not see where it makes sense to like go way out, unless you're trying to get, you know, which I may end up doing, try to get another jewel socket. Uh, that makes sense. But like coming like two, three quadrants over and like picking up some of these skills over here or some of these passes over here. I know it works, okay, but for me, I feel like if you get more bang for your buck. You're not trying to reach something. You're just using what's available to you, where you're using as many skill points you can for actual passives, right? And not attributes where you're trying to catch something. So, um, and I could be off far. Maybe great the other way. I don't know. But for what I'm doing so far, I've been able to go through the content very well, and uh, it's working. So, we started right here. We just kind of went with the attack damage first. Uh, so we get here, we branch off, and once again, the pin. I do use the pin build up. Um, and I wouldn't really consider this a crit build. I do have several crits in my skill tree, um, because I do have that crit chance based on my weapon. That's pretty good. Um, I would like to. I will go, man. I'm all over the place, dude. This game is so crazy that it's hard to stay on track. Uh, I try to go as much attack damage as I can. Here we are, blinding strike. So we know the whirlwind and the twister's blind. Yeah, they both blind. So uh, anything you can get to blind enemies um, is going to be good, because I do think I have, or I did. I may have taken it off. Thought I had damage increased on blind enemies. I do. I have one. I did have it. I did have it out here, but I felt like I was getting better damage further down the skill tree. But yeah, we got this, which yeah, I mean this is good attack damage here. And then we got critical damage. We got 100% increased critical damage bonus against enemies that are full life. So my initial hit, the rake, uh, the explosive spear. When I crit that, I mean it's doing massive damage. Um, and we've got the blinded. We'll just go on down here. We'll go back up this way. This is going to be basically my defense. Two evasions. The cat like. Here's one. So I got 25 increased evasion, and then I got 40% increased evasion if you've dodge roll recently, and recently is within 8 seconds. So I'm getting a huge boost every time I roll to my evasion. So my flat evasion is 71%. So I'm getting another 40 on top of that when I dodge roll. So that's huge. Uh, so we have that one. This is movement speed. This is one of the only few movement speeds that I've seen on here. These um, we go down here. These are for frenzy charges. It's going to add a frenzy charge. This is another one. I get 50% increased evasion rating if I've consumed a frenzy charge recently. So when I use a frenzy charge, I've got 50 increased evasion rating on top of my 71%. Okay, so these are huge. This one, they're huge as far as my defense is concerned. Being able to evade attacks. Uh, we've got, like I said, it's a bleeding build, so I do have um, stuff here. I did not add these two on the chance to apply incision, because I feel like with this cluster and the cluster at the bottom, I felt like I was getting around 100%. I just thought maybe it was a waste. I don't know for sure, but I felt like maybe it was a waste to go above 100. So I did not put these two on. Um, we got these, more attack damage. This is more crit down here. It's going to be critical hit chance. And then we've got 80% increased crit chance if you haven't dealt a critical hit recently. So every 8 seconds, you're guaranteed a crit. Okay. I think that's huge. It's huge. And then We go here, we got projectile damage, which projectile is going to be the spear and the spear throw, the twisters, um, the explosive spear, all that's projectile. So we're getting some damage here. We got the area effect for attacks. Um, then it comes down here. Uh, this is more attack damage, just basic attack damage. Yeah, some armor breaking. We come down here, some more crit chance, crit damage, and then I get 60% increased critical damage bonus, but I take a reduced 15% of global defenses, which your defense is going to be your evasion, your energy shield, and your armor. So I ended up using this. Like I said, this is not really a crit build. I didn't go with do, but it does have some crit capabilities. Some because I have that weapon that has that good base on it. So I did want to put some crit in there to try to take advantage of that. So we have that. Here's some more defense, some more movement speed. Like I said, anything that's got movement speed, I'm trying to put it on. My jewel could be a little better. I'm wasting the increased stun build up with maces. That's a waste. Uh, but I haven't really found anything that was better as far as like giving me attack damage. The knockback distance is good because everything I do, the whirlwind, the twisters, they all knock back. So this could be a little better, but it's the best one I have so far. I did run these, um, but I took them off and put the points elsewhere. Uh, we got more attack damage. Yeah, attack damage, some increased speed. We go down here, we go right. This is skill speed, some more movement speed. I'm always looking for movement speed. This made a huge difference. I'm trying to take some of these off, and I mean, it just brings down the DPS so much when I take any of these off. So, as far as like my spear throw and the explosive spear, I mean, it goes down a lot if I take any of these off. So I leave these on. That's a lot of points, but it you know DPS man. I need to be killing stuff as fast as I can because like I said, I'm very squishy. Uh, and then we go right here. We've got this is more bleed. This is full, more incision. And I do believe I'm getting like 100% increased incision with this and the one up top. So now I did try, I did try this, okay, and I did not feel like I was doing the damage. Um, and it could just be with my crit hit chance being not being focused on. I think maybe if I got my crit hit chance up a lot, this would help a lot. I mean, this would do really good. But anyway, that's just kind of the gist of it. Man, this video is went along far too long. Oh, yeah. Well, I told y'all about my ritualist, but we'll look. Yeah, Blood Bowl. This is the one I was saying. It only grants one modifier. Uh, I use this one, and then we use the rings. Yeah, dude, my editing is terrible, but I appreciate everyone tuning in today. This video went way long enough. Um, I don't know. We'll see how this video does. I'm gonna keep playing. Uh, I just wanted to make a video. I make videos, and I hadn't made one in a while because I've been playing this. So I decided to go ahead and make one on this game. If you like the video, if you got something out of it, if you make this far, I appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch y'all on the next one. Later.